So realistically speaking, going back to the original question, what rights and privileges do men enjoy that women don't?
And that's actually a privilege that women have that we don't have any say in.
Well, like, as far as reproductive rights that you think men are entitled to, do you believe that men should be able to dictate whether or not another adult woman should be forced to have an abortion?
It doesn't matter what we think. It doesn't matter what we think. Men in this day and age do not have the right to force a woman to do anything, much less anoint roba.
Or to carry a child to term.
See, now we're talking about what should be rather than what is. Again, we're moving the goalpost here. We're muddying the waters.
Well, if the men should be able to have a say. If you're able to kill the baby, then I should have a say in killing a baby too.
You guys don't know what it does to our body, how we feel, or anything.
It's not your reproductive system. That's the problem. We're talking about
your body. Well, like,
once again, ladies, I get that you guys are in your feelings right now. Like, hey, it's my body, it's reproductive.
Mike Steele says this is also why who your woman's friends are is just as important as your woman herself. Women are communal. Take a good girl and surround her with trash friends. She'll become the trash heap in 6 months. 100%. 100%. This is why the passport bros don't bring their women back to the United States. This is why they don't bring their women back to the United States. They used to. 10, 15 years ago, they used to. But American women destroy and corrupt all women.
It tears my body up. All I'm simply saying, hold on. We're talking facts, not feelings.
Change the subject.
No, it's simple. You have all the reproductive rights. Men don't. That's all I'm saying. We're not talking about what's good, what's not, what we should be, what could it be. What I'm saying, yo, stop talking, bro.
My bad.
Dude, so you can look at face tattoo. I'm going to show you guys. This is the perfect example. Let's go body language here. This is the perfect example of a woman literally listening to respond. She is not even like, she's just listening to respond. She cannot help herself. While Myron is talking, she can't help. She can't help it. Just watch.
Whether or not another adult woman should be forced to have an abortion or to carry a child to term.
Well, if the men should be able to have a say. If you're able to kill the baby, then I should have a say in killing a baby too.
You guys don't know what it does to our body, how we feel, or anything.
It's not your reproductive system. That's the problem. We're talking about reproductive.
Watch.
Once again, ladies, I get that you guys are in your feelings right now. Like, hey, it's my body, it's reproductive, it tears my body up. All I'm simply saying, hold on. We're talking facts now.
Look, she cannot help herself. Watch.
Feelings.
Change the subject.
No, it's simple. You have all the reproductive rights. Men don't. That's all I'm saying. We're not talking about what's good, what's not, what we should be.
There it is. She cannot shut up. She cannot shut up. She just can't do it. Literally listening to respond. Like her mouth is moving and no words come out. It's interesting. Her mouth starts to move before her voice box kicks in. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Ay, ay, ay.
What could it be?
What I'm saying, yo, stop talking, bro.
My bad.
Anyway, what I'm saying is that the fact
finally
is this: women have all the reproductive rights in any first world country. Men have zero. Now, whether it's moral or not is a different thing. That's another discussion. I'm just saying the fact is men have zero reproductive rights, and that is a fact. That's not disputable.
Well, you have control over who you have sex with, right?
Yes, but that has nothing to do with reproductive rights. It just doesn't.
It doesn't matter. What I'm talking about is when the sperm hits the egg and a pregnancy is there,
once a woman is
the
fertilized,
reproductive process, the man loses all the rights, which is the debate what we're having. We're not talking about, because you guys are trying to bring it to feelings of, but my body, my choice, maybe I don't want to do it.
Men have reproductive rights that pertain to themselves. But
we don't birth babies, sweetie.
Never ones that would extend to another woman, you know? But if you want to get the point is that falls under male reproductive rights.
The point is that we're so blessed to be females. Look how privileged we are. We need to be grateful. Who's a single mother here?
Yeah, me. But a man,
you know how much right we got.
But a man can't reproduce without
I mean, a woman can't reproduce.
We got
without
mad
a man.
rights.
Okay,
Okay,
and
so-
I feel like this is being derailed.
Okay, so
Right?
No,
Yeah.
not you, not
Women.
you.
Can I?
She says, I feel like this is being derailed. Yeah, you derailed it. Devin says, everyone knows the inherent risks of having sex. We learned about it in middle school. If you accidentally get pregnant, it has consequences for both parties. True, Devin. But again, the woman has all of the reproductive rights.
all
I'm
right,
a
so
single
we
mother.
just,
I have
hold on,
no
hold on,
rights.
look. We just got to have some ground rules here. The fact is that men have zero reproductive rights. That's a
That's
fact.
it.
That's not to be disputed.
That's
We're
it.
not talking about the, whether it's moral or not. That's a whole other discussion. Now, going back to the
Myron.
original question, what rights and privileges do men have that women don't?
I know one.
Hold on, wait your turn.
Bumbleclaw.
Rights that men have that women
And if you
don't.
can't think of one, I'll move on to the next person. Maybe you could think of one.
No, as far as like on paper, no, men and women legally and nominally have the same rights.
Thank you. There it is.
But obviously, if we look at a lot of society, the inequalities within
Society, inequalities. Dude, anytime somebody uses the word society, you already know they're woke as a joke.
society between men and women lead
Yeah,
such
you're talking about like
different lives and stuff like that.
systemic like
Disadvantages. Yeah.
disadvantages. Like what?
Like I mean, I'm pro-choice, so I see
We went over
women's
that.
inability to be able to exercise and procure an abortion
Oh my
as
God.
an infringement upon
Dude,
women.
like we just beat this topic into the ground. And finally we come back to the question. And she keeps going back to Noit Roba.
Rights.
Okay. Well, they can
Like-
at least go to another state where it's illegal and
Thank
get
you.
it done there.
Yeah, but why should they have to?
Hey, sweetheart, that's the way it is. Why should they have to? Because it's not legal in all 50 states. That's why. And if you don't want to have to travel to another state to get a Noit Roba, then don't have unprotected sex. It's that simple. It's that simple. It just sounds to me like this woman just wanted to come on to Fresh and Fit to talk about Noit Roba. This is crazy.
But they have the ability to, whereas
You
men
have
don't
the
at all.
ability to, right? But in the same way that it's like you have the ability to become a billionaire, right? And make tons of money. There's going to be other social obstacles that prevent you from doing so that are not legal.
Yeah, becoming a billionaire is a little harder than getting pregnant. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. This woman just compared becoming a billionaire to a woman's right to a Noit Roba. She acts like becoming a billionaire is a choice. She acts like men can just decide to become a billionaire and voila. Voila. I'm worth $1 billion. It does not work that way. Women, on the other hand, can get pregnant through having sex. This is a bad comparison. Like, what is she doing?
Legal. There's nothing stopping me from becoming a billionaire, but am I going to be a billionaire tomorrow?
Well,
No.
your merit and your hard work is what stops you from being a billionaire.
Thank you.
That might be one thing.
What? This is so funny. Look at the blonde. Look at the blonde. This is so funny. Watch. This is so funny. So Myron says, yeah, your ability and your hard work is what prevents you from being a billionaire. And she had a problem with it.
Legal.
Watch.
There's nothing stopping me from becoming a billionaire, but am I going to be a billionaire tomorrow?
Well,
No.
your merit and your hard work is what stops you from being a billionaire.
Merit and hard work is what stops you from being a billionaire. And she has a problem with it. What's the problem? Like, what's the contention? What's the contention? Like, why is she looking like that? Where's the dispute? Jesus Christ. Ay, 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 ay.
That might be one thing, but there's
That's
a
a
lot of
victim
other
mindset to take.
social advantages. No, I feel like that's just acknowledging the descriptive reality. Like, why aren't you a billionaire?
Working towards it.
Working towards being a billionaire?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
It all
but, like,
depends on your mind.
You see that? You see that? Why aren't you a billionaire? Here's why. Because it's not easy. That's why. It is far easier to get pregnant, far easier to get a Noit Roba than it is to become a billionaire. Unbelievable. Desmond Montgomery, member for 11 months. Says, yes, her and Blonde came to argue all night. Yeah, that's just what it appears to be. The Fit Comedian with the $5 super chat says, that's like saying you can smoke marijuana in a different state. Why should they have to? Exactly.
Mindset.
But
You think that the only thing that's going to determine your income over the span of your lifetime is just a mindset? You don't think it's going to have anything to do with your social circumstances, your upbringing, your...
Those are all factors. Those are all factors. But you could have every conceivable advantages. You could have every conceivable advantage and still not become a billionaire. It takes more than advantages.
Your educational attainment, how much familial and generational wealth you already have.
I mean, with that,
whoa. Familial and generational wealth? Now, are we talking about a trust fund baby or a self-made millionaire, billionaire? Come on.
mindset, we can go ahead and look at everybody that made it out of the hood to the NBA or to the NFL, or they were able to overcome some crazy. Yeah.
But they're the exception to the rule. Like most people, you know, anybody could do it, but not everybody can, right?
Here's the thing.
but I mean, going to a different state to have an abortion with respect, I think that's a slightly different level of topic than becoming a billionaire.
Thank you.
I mean,
I'm still trying to figure out.
I'm
still trying to.
Your whole scenario was saying in an idealistic world, men and women are equal and that women are disadvantaged. What can they do besides like the killing baby thing?
Plan B. If a man nuts and you know you don't want to have a baby, plan B.
We're past that.
You see that? You see that? Face tattoo actually just lost the argument for old girl. If you know that a dude's nuts in you, you can go get a plan B. You can go get a plan B and take care of that. But no, women don't want to do that. Well, why should I have to? Well, because you let the dude nut in you.
Why men don't have birth control?
Okay,
they do.
Let's move on.
They
from that.
do.
Really?
Yeah, they
You want to move on, though.
Dude, men don't have birth control. We have condoms. That's about it. Condoms and abstinence. That's our birth control.
What is something that women are not able to do that men can do?
Legally, I mean, we had a disagreement over the reproductive rights, but my point is that, like,
Do you have anything else besides that?
No.
Okay, so
Move on. Thank you.
that was one example.
Well, she tried to say systemic advantage is what I'm trying to get to, and she's saying that socioeconomic, blah blah blah. But I still don't understand.
There are social advantages that are going to influence like systems of government and have downstream effects that affect
This, okay, dude. Okay, so how old is this chick? What, 24? 24. This woman, she thinks she's smarter than she is. She thinks she's smarter than she is. She thinks she's intelligent, but she's not. All she's doing is regurgitating talking points from Planned Parenthood websites. That's all she's doing. That's why nothing she says makes sense. That's why when you put her arguments into the crucible of debate, it doesn't make any sense because it doesn't come from her. It doesn't come from her brain. You can always tell that someone's ideas don't come from them if they can't effectively defend their ideas. If somebody makes a statement or a series of statements and someone challenges said statements and they cannot effectively defend those statements, then you know that didn't come from their own head.
women specifically.
Give me an example of what affects women negatively that doesn't also affect men.
Body count.
Yeah, socially are
That's straight up.
We're talking about rights.
We're talking about rights. We're talking about rights. Body count is a choice, sweet cheeks. Yes, body count is a choice. A woman decides who she sleeps with. Same with men. But it's hard for men to get laid, and it's easy for women to get laid. It's a double standard, yes, but guess what? Life ain't fair.
I agree with
I'm
that.
talking about rights and
He's talking
privileges.
about rights. Okay,
Rights
but
and
we're gonna
privileges.
let's talk about privilege, right?
Okay, go ahead, sure.
If we're talking about how we perceive each other in society, it's a straight up fact that if men apparently sleep with a lot of women, they're seen as a higher status, right?
that's not true.
Yeah.
Who said that? Who said that men who sleep with a lot of women are higher status? No. A man being attractive enough for multiple women to want to have sex with him, that is a natural byproduct of his status. But that's not what gives him status. That's merely a symptom of status.
Yes. Well, according to a lot of people here, it is, right?
No, it's getting to that point where you can sleep with a lot of women, but having a lot of sex with different women does not make you a high status male.
Oh my God. There you go, Sneako. Thank you. Thank you. There it is, Sneako. There it is. Being able to have sex with a lot of women does not make you a high status man. It doesn't. It doesn't. Take it from somebody who did. Dude, I've had sex with more women than I care to admit. I don't know what my body count is. I don't care. It's a lot. That's all I know. But that's not what gives me my status. What gives me my status is my relationship. What gives me my status is my relationship, my legacy. My legacy is this content. That's what gives me status. My ability to both teach, entertain, and help to improve the lives of both men and women indirectly, that's what gives me status, not sleeping with a bunch of women.
I'm happy you think that. A lot
That
of men
makes you
don't
ran
think
through.
that. Either way,
See that? Sneako just blew her out of the water. She just shrugged it off. All right, I'm just going to go with my diatribe.
you don't see women or you don't see people call men whores after sleeping with a bunch of women.
No, you
Women
You
call
you
women call
them-
women whores first.
Yeah, exactly.
Women call women whores more than men.
I know.
Whoops! Uh-oh! Uh-oh! Uh-oh, Zena's going in, but Zena's right. Zena's 1,000% right. Women do the vast majority of the 304 shaming comes from women. Please believe. Please believe.
But I
Women
I don't like
shame
to
women.
see
You're
women.
Let's let her,
You're
hold on. Let's let
women
her
shame
finish her
women.
point, guys. Let's let her finish her point. So, are you trying to help her out with the privilege thing?
Well, yeah, if we're talking about privileges in society.
Can you wait till I get to you then? And then
yeah,
okay.
Sure.
All right. So you couldn't really name anything outside of random.
No, I could name them, but we have a fundamental disagreement
do it.
about like to what extent men are entitled to have reproductive rights over women's
God,
reproductive.
dude. Again, now she's missing the point. He asked her, what privileges and rights do men have that women do not? But she wants to go back to the fundamental disagreement that they have that men should have reproductive rights. That's not what this is about. That's not what this is about. See, just like somebody said in the chat earlier, she just came to argue about reproductive rights. That's it. We're not even talking about the original question. Now she wants to argue about why men shouldn't have reproductive rights. That's not the question. We don't talk about what shoulda, coulda, or woulda. We talk about what is.
reproductive systems.
Okay, we went over that. All right. What about you? Are there any rights or privileges that you could think of that men have that women don't?
No.
No. What about you?
I honestly can't think of
Can't?
anything.
You guys have had plenty of time to think about it, so I hope y'all got something.
it.
If something, any rights or privileges that men have that
Scared
women
now.
don't?
A privilege. I mean, you guys.
Isn't it funny how when you put these women on the spot, when you put them on the spot, all of a sudden they're as quiet as a goddamn church mouse. But as soon as somebody else is speaking, then they want to gab. Modern women, y'all.
Can feel safer more of the time. Like the privileges, like
That's not true.
when you go outside.
Men are
when you-
66% more likely to be the victims of
Thank
violent
you.
crime.
when you-
Perpetrated by
I'm
other
asking
men,
you
right?
Personally,
Yes.
personally.
So we're all
But she said
in
feeling
danger from
safe. It
men.
doesn't matter who the other person is, but the homicide rate is way higher for men.
Thank you.
We are at risk of
Violent crime in
way more.
general. So
Do you feel when you go outside, you normally think like?
No, I
I'm
don't
gonna
like to.
die?
We don't like to walk around with the victim mindset. That's worse. That's gonna make you a victim more.
This is so funny. Girls always like to put themselves in direct danger to make themselves the victim. Well, when I walk outside at night in the middle of a bad neighborhood, well, sweetheart, how about we take some personal accountability and not walk alone at night in a bad neighborhood? I can guarantee you that none of these women, when they left the Panorama Tower that night, walking around Brickell, were afraid of violence. I can promise you that. Yet, they want to sit here and cap like they're afraid of being just assaulted at random. because that's a privilege that we have that they don't. Wrong again. Men are overwhelmingly victims of violence, domestic violence, and homicide. Miami Zoe Life says they don't care about double standards. They only care when it doesn't benefit them. Absolutely. Thank you.
More often.
I don't
if you
think that's
that way.
a victim mindset.
That's
If you're
exactly what it is. If
contending
you
with
walk
reality
around,
that like there are some areas of life and society that are more dangerous than
she
others.
said you
in
walk
specific
around
genders.
scared. Just because I know the homicide rate is higher for men, it doesn't mean that I'm going to walk around scared with pepper spray all the time. I'm just going to move my head on a swivel
And how many of these women have pepper spray in their purse?
and be more confident, be more aware.
Or not going to those dangerous areas.
But do you feel more comfortable being a man? Like, oh, if something happens to me, I have more of a potential to save myself.
Not me.
As a man, do you feel like you two as men?
That were more. What's the question?
Do you feel more comfortable? Like, if you were walking alone by yourself in the dark, would you feel more comfortable? Like, I'm okay.
I would not put myself in that situation. This is the difference between men and women, guys. I say all the time, don't be insecure, be territorial. The main difference between being insecure and being territorial is insecurity is a reaction. Insecurity is reactive. Being territorial is proactive. For example, you take your woman to a bar. You guys are drinking, having fun. You go to the bathroom. Some guy slides up next to your woman, starts hitting on your woman. You're at a bar. You come out of the bathroom. You're like, what the hell? She's with me, blah, 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 blah. You guys get in a fight. The rest is history. That looks like insecurity because he reacted to a situation he allowed to happen. Being territorial is proactive. What would you do in that situation to be territorial? You do not take your woman to the bar or the club in the first place. If you want to go out for drinks, get a table at Applebee's. That's how this goes.